Bitter criticism. Reading the genocide dossier from Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera. Here we go. Al Jazeera. Just 1 second. So not this time is from Lebanon. The genocide is from Lebanon. Live updates. Israel attacks Beirut with heavy airstrikes as, quote, entire blog level. And says, live updates, Israel attacks Lebanon. Beirut suffers, quote, unprecedented bombardment by Farah Najjar and Usaid Siddiqui. September 27, yeah. It's 2024. Israel's military launched an unprecedented attack on southern Beirut, with dead and wounded at the scene, and a block of buildings brought down as the assault on Lebanon intensifies. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu describes, quote, lies and slander at the UN General Assembly threatens Iran and vows to continue degrading Hezbollah in Lebanon as delegates storm out in protest. And 41 seconds ago, 2 killed, 76 wounded in southern Beirut attack. In an initial toll, Lebanon's health ministry says 2 people were killed and 76 others wounded in Israel's attacks on Beirut's southern suburb of Dahiyeh. Israel's latest attacks on the Hared Reik district destroyed 6 buildings, turning them into rubble. Rescue workers backed by excavators are still trying to evacuate survivors from the scene. The airstrikes heard across the Mediterranean city sent huge clouds of smoke soaring above its densely populated southern suburbs. 16 minutes ago now. Analysis. Israeli government drunk on power and impunity. It's funny logo here. We have like occupation analysis. Look the logo. Looks like Occupy. Anyway, Israeli government drunk on power and impunity. Marwan Bishara, Al Jazeera senior political analyst. The Israelis are drunk on power and drunk on victory and addicted to American support. This fascist, fanatic Israeli government has really exceeded all expectations. What they've done in Gaza, they are doing in Lebanon. They are acting with total impunity. If they are capable of genocide in Gaza, they are capable of what they've done today. And clearly they don't care for the reactions, implications, or ramifications of their bombardment of civilian or residential neighborhoods, regardless of the pretext. What we have seen from the Israeli government is bomb first, explain later. Yeah. 21 minutes ago now. Hezbollah pledges to keep fighting until Israel troops stops its war on Gaza. Not long before the attack, thousands of Lebanese in another part of Beirut suburbs for the funeral of 3 Hezbollah members killed in earlier bombing raids, including the head of the group's drone unit, Mohammed Surur. Men and women in the giant crowd waved their fists in the air and chanted, quote, "We will never accept humiliation," as they marched behind the 3 coffins wrapped in the group's yellow flag. Hussein Fadlallah, Hezbollah's top official in Beirut, said in a speech, "No matter how many commanders Israel kills, the group has endless numbers of experienced fighters deployed all over the front lines." Fadlallah pledged that Hezbollah will keep fighting until Israel stops its bloody war on Gaza. "We will not abandon the support of Palestine, Jerusalem, and oppressed Gaza. There is no place for neutrality in this battle." And then 25 minutes ago, Iran, Israeli strike on Beirut, dangerous game-changing escalation. Iran's embassy in Lebanon says Israel's major attack on Beirut's southern suburbs represents a dangerous game-changing escalation. What will bring its perpetrator an appropriate punishment, unquote. Earlier, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told the UN General Assembly the, quote, "long arm of Israel," unquote, can reach the tyrants of Tehran anywhere in Iran, in the Middle East. And then 31 minutes ago, Israeli army highly prepared to attack and defend it if needed. Israeli military chief Herzi Halevi just concluded a meeting to assess the situation after a major attack on Beirut's southern suburbs, calling the area the home of Hezbollah's command center. Haveli said the army is highly prepared to both attack and defend, according to a statement. At least 6 residential buildings were leveled in the air raids on the Harad district. Rescuers are still trying to evacuate the wounded to hospitals. We have a photograph. The Israeli military chief Herzi Halevi, back left, meets with U.S. CENTCOM Commander Michael Kurilla in Israel. The genocidals. 41 minutes ago now. Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu cuts short U.S. trip after Beirut attack. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ended his visit to the United States early after addressing the UN General Assembly as Israel carried out another major attack on Lebanon's capital. Quote, Prime Minister Netanyahu decided to return to Israel earlier than planned and will depart from the United States this evening, a statement from his office said. News of the Beirut blast came as Netanyahu was briefing reporters traveling with him. A military aide whispered into his ear, and Netanyahu quickly ended the briefing. Friday's bombing were the most powerful yet seen in the Lebanese capital the past year. Top Israeli officials have threatened to repeat this destruction of Gaza in Lebanon if Hezbollah border fire continues. We have a photograph of fire burns at the site of a series of Israeli air raids in Beirut's southern suburb. And 51 minutes ago now. Pentagon, U.S. had, quote, no advanced warning of Israeli attack on Beirut. A deputy spokesperson for the Pentagon says U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin spoke to his Israeli counterpart Yoav Gallant, quote, as the operation was already underway, unquote. The United States was not involved in this operation and we had no advanced warning. Sabrina Sain told reporters Washington had no further information to provide on the Israeli attacks. She added, having no involvement, having no knowledge that this strike was actually going to occur. We are still pulling for more details and trying to understand the operation itself. We have a photograph of the Pentagon, Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Said. Some genocidal. Well, she's beautiful. More than Condoleezza Rice. Anyway. And 1 hour ago, the latest, Beirut attack massive 6 residential buildings leveled to the ground. Zaina Cord reporting from Beirut, Lebanon. We arrived at the scene of what really was an unprecedented attack. There's a lot of tension on the ground. This attack was massive. I have covered a lot of the aftermath of Israeli airstrikes in the southern suburbs of Beirut, but nothing like this. The smoke is still billowing. The area of devastation is so large and wide. We are talking about at least 6 to 7 residential buildings leveled to the ground. There is a security perimeter around the site of this attack. One of the men standing here, a member of Hezbollah, said, quote, I saw dead children being put in an ambulance and taken away. What have they done to deserve this? And that's a great question against this Israeli genocide backed by the UN. The UN is decadent. I hope BRICS replace the UN soon.